Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Twisted Word Show. And we are back with another video. And today we are going to talk about how to overcome your writing fears. Everybody, like when you're writing, there's always a voice at the back of your head scaring you that you're going to end up making a mistake or doing something that you don't want to do. Those fears, we are going to eliminate them today with our tips that Mariana and I are going to share. Hello, Mariana.
Hi everybody. Hi Yash. Nice to be here.
Okay, so let's start. We are going to start with a small little tip, which is starting small. Now, if you set an unrealistic goal of writing a novel in one day, you're not only going to be disappointed, but that very task of finishing that thing in one day is going to be daunting, and obviously, you're not going to end up succeeding in that. Uh, and that feeling of like a humongous task, you have to get that done, that writing fear might turn out to be much worse than it seems, because even in the future when you're about to write, you're going to be reminded of that incident and you'll be like, I will never be able to write. But you don't have to be like that. So remember to give yourself time, start small, make smaller goals, and advance, eventually get there. Am I right, Mariana?
Absolutely. I think if you start small and with each thing you accomplish, that will build your confidence. So,
Exactly.
um, like you said, if you don't set a goal that's too big to accomplish, you won't have the disappointment or feeling that you can't do this. Because every time you have a small success, you feel better and you feel capable of doing things.
Yes. The next tip we are going to talk about is establishing a routine. Mariana, please tell us about that.
Okay, so I know different things work for different people, but in my case, because I've quite a busy schedule in the day, for me it works to set aside a few minutes at night when everyone's in bed, kids are in bed, um, and the house is quiet, um, to then sit and write for a bit because you can concentrate better. I know other people say you must do it first thing in the morning, but for me, that's not realistic. So, because in the mornings we have to get ready for work, get ready for school. It's a lot to do. So, mornings don't work for me. And again, I don't set a goal to write for an hour because I'll probably fall asleep while I'm in the middle of something. So, I will maybe set a half an hour aside or 15 minutes even. Um, but it's good to do it every day, and the more
Yes.
you stick with it, the easier it becomes.
Yes, because when you have a routine, you are consistent with it and you're consistently writing. Not only are you improving your writing skills, but at the same time, developing that subconscious thing that, okay, now it's the time, this is when I write and I have to write today.
Yes, exactly.
Uh, the next tip we're going to talk about is embracing imperfection. Many writers, including myself, I used to be like, I have to write this sentence and it has to be gold. But that is
Yeah,
not the case. It doesn't have to be gold, it can be literally plastic. But you can
yeah,
build that plastic and slowly improve, edit it. Editing is for doing this revision. You can always go back to it and make it perfect. Never fear that your writing is not as good as you want it to be, because you can always make it good later. Now,
yes.
Mariana is in. Yes, Mariana.
Yeah, I wanted to say I agree with you. There's always time for editing, so don't worry
Exactly.
if it's not perfect the first time.
So Mariana is in a writing group, and so I think she can talk about the next tip better than I can,
Yes,
which
so
is
with the writing groups, what I find very helpful, obviously, every month we have a different topic we discuss, and different skills they focus on. For example, we'll speak about dialogue tags and how to best use them, or um, how to do your punctuation properly, or whatever it can, or just how to create your world that you where everything's happening, and how to create that and stay consistent. Whatever the topic is, all of those little things help you to write better. And there's
Yes.
also the accountability thing, because we'll have challenges each month to write a little story and share it. Of course, you're not obliged to, but it helps. And if you get
And
constructive
also
criticism,
you'll have a group of people to always support you and show you the right
exactly,
direction, and never make you feel like you're not accomplishing something, and never make you fear writing, because you will always be progressing in one way or another. You'll always be learning something new when you are in a group of people who are doing the same thing as you.
yes, exactly, it helps a lot.
So reading is very important for writers. How does not fearing writing and reading regularly related? Because writers don't always have to write. Writers also need to read. They also need to enjoy. They also need to learn from other writers. What do you have to say about reading regularly?
Well, I think if you read in your genre, you can see what worked for other writers and uh, what didn't work. I mean, you will know if you read something and you don't like it, you'll know why you
Yes.
don't like it. So don't do that. Try something
And
else, or look at something you do like and try that style maybe.
yes, if you don't know how to write a particular scene, you may choose to read your favorite author or that particular genre and learn from the other person, so that a feeling of not being able to do that will go away, because you'll not only be enjoying the reading experience but at the same time learning.
Exactly. And also to read it as a writer, like
Exactly.
almost criticize, constructive criticism, of course, what you're reading and see what works and what doesn't.
Yes. Now, we've talked about this in a previous video, but we're going to talk about a little bit about it here as well. Setting realistic goals. I think I keep mentioning it here and there in every other tip, because it just feels like, because I have had this experience, I set unrealistic goals for myself and I failed. But after that, I revised my goals, I revised my expectations, and I did pretty well. And that encouraged me to continue doing that.
Exactly.
So yes, setting realistic goals is very important.
Mm.
When you're in a writing group, you have other writers with you talking about writing, uh, and they give you feedback on what you
Mm.
wrote. So
Yeah.
seeking constructive feedback from writers, from maybe even some readers who are able to think like writers, or some, you know, what do you have to say about that?
I think, again, coming back to the writers group, it is a good place to get constructive feedback. And if even if someone doesn't necessarily like what you've written, they can tell you why, and you can learn from it. But it's not in a negative atmosphere, and it's people wanting to help each other. Um,
Yes.
I
Also,
think that might.
sometimes, yes. Also, sometimes when we say that we're getting feedback from somebody, if that feedback is uh, like, it's supposed to be constructive feedback, but sometimes the words don't really come out the right way, or and hit you in the wrong spot. So you feel like somebody's told you something bad about your writing, and that
Mm,
makes you feel you're not a good writer, or this or that, or whatever. That should not be the case, which is why
yeah,
you need to seek constructive feedback that helps you improve and get better as a writer, because that's all we need. We don't need to run away from writing. Writing is something that we love, and we should do it
yeah,
as something, yes, that comes out naturally, and we should enjoy it.
exactly.
Now, a very important point, which is we've talked about so many points right by now, uh, but I think it is also going to depend on an individual. Everybody's going to have a different kind of fear. So, understanding your fear is very important. Knowing what you think is wrong with your writing, or understanding what is it exactly that you think you're not able to do and what you fear in the writing aspect, that is very important, because that is when you will be able to tackle it. Am I right,
Yeah,
Mariana?
exactly. Yeah, I
Yes.
think if you don't know what it is that's worrying you, you wouldn't know what to work on. But if you know, for example, you're not very good at writing dialogue and people might not like it, um,
For example, if it
you
is,
know
if we fear,
you work on.
yes,
Yeah,
if we fear what people will think, people's expectations from our writing, if that is what we fear, then the only solution, one of the solutions could be to seek feedback from people, make people read it, find out what's wrong, so that you can
mm,
make it uh, as good as you want, so that people in the end they love it. Or
yeah,
is it that you're not able to meet your goals, or is it that you're not good at a particular writing skill, and so on. Knowing what it is you're up against is very important.
yes, and you can work on it, exactly.
Yes. And then the very last tip we're going to talk about, which is uh, which I really find it nice. I enjoy doing this, which
That's
is
the best part.
celebrating. What?
It's the best part. Oh, sorry, it's the best part is to celebrate.
I still don't. Okay. What about the viewers? Did you understand what Mariana is trying to say? If you do, then tell me in the comments and I'll see what Mariana said.
Come on, everybody.
Okay. Um, we just gave our viewers a little thing to do. Anyway, celebrating small success.
Hmm,
You should enjoy writing. It is something that you're doing uh, for yourself.
hmm,
And whenever you accomplish something, no matter however small it is, it isn't that you have to, you're only allowed to celebrate when you finish your book. No, every time you finish a chapter, every time you finish a writing session, you are allowed to celebrate and greet yourself with whatever you want.
hmm,
Keeping yourself happy throughout the writing journey is what makes you and keeps you and propels you forward.
hmm. Exactly.
So these were a lot of uh, writing tips, not sorry, not writing tips, tips that we gave to you to overcome your writing fears. And I hope that all of you will be able to implement this in just in case you are worried about your writing, because and all the very best to every writer out there, all the very best to us as well. Uh, Thank you very much for watching this show and sticking with us till the end. We will see you in the next episode.
Bye bye, everybody.
Bye bye.